Alright guys, I'm back with another one. So yeah, I've been playing a bit offline and I managed to get a new PB on Immortal Severance Glitchless. I was streaming it for a bit, but man, it became kind of hard to focus while streaming, so yeah, I started doing offline attempts and it ended up working pretty nicely. Overall, I ended up being able to play a lot more, because essentially what I do was like I do some hours of attempts, or like 1 or 2 hours, then I take a break and then I do like another 1 or 2 hours, and so it became a lot less stale, a lot less frustrating, and a lot more manageable. In basically every way, I got a lot less frustrated, and so yeah, the whole mental like side of speedrunning when you're streaming can be kind of difficult. I used to be a lot better at it. Unfortunately, I've gotten worse. But it is what it is. I mean, like, this is a pretty good time, so like it may have just been that, you know, that was the one run that where the stars line. Like, it may well have been that if I had kept streaming all my attempts, that, you know, it would have happened. But it would have happened anyway, but yeah. Yeah, not much of note going on in this early game here. I think like I'll move over to some more glitch categories now. Like, I feel like I've kind of done a lot of stuff in Glitchless, and I might still play it occasionally, but I've really been grinding, kind of trying to get really good at it at Glitchless, and I think I want to get back to like restricted, unrestricted, where swim, all this other shit that I used to play back in the day, but I haven't touched in a while. Yeah, I think it's cool as well, with like being able to do a lot of different shit. Especially like right now I'm working a bit on no air swim, and it's kind of interesting. Like, it's completely different in basically every way. Oh yeah, so in this run I elected to go for Gachiins. I had been going Gachiin less, like completely Gachiin less, but it was just too risky. I was losing too many runs to it. I had one day where I lost like 6 runs to Gachiinless monkeys out of like probably 10 decent attempts or something. That was just like so stupid. It's not worth it at all. Like, I can save 5.5 seconds with going full Gachiinless, which is some nice time, but it's not really needed. Oh yeah, I get grabbed here. This is like the biggest mistake in the run. But yeah, using Gachiin, I was pretty convinced that if I started using Gachiin, I would PB pretty quickly, because, you know, there was plenty of time save in the run, you know. It's not like I like absolutely needed those 5 seconds. I was just, you know, being greedy because I wanted, you know, the perfect run. If I was gonna run it again, which I'm not gonna do for the time being, if I was gonna run it again, I probably would still use Gachiin. I think Gachiinless is pretty much only for world record attempts, with this isn't really like a world record attempt. Like, it's a good time, but not really anywhere near the world record. Right. This Gyobu was pretty interesting, or pretty cool. I managed to get pretty nice gold here. I don't want to sit here and just say everything that happens in like the next minute, but it's hard to come up with shit to say in the early game after like the 100th time you've been here. Yeah, so I do the menuing a little differently here than in Shura, just because, you know, Immortal Severance, we gotta do more shit at the end. So the menuing for the entire run is slightly different. It's nothing like crazy, but like, for example, the Gachiin goes in slot 2 instead of slot 1. And you equip the healing gourd. Which isn't, it's not like a safety thing, you equip it because you need to use it later. Alright, and I go for this strat, and he does the double spin, and then I stagger him, and then I headshot him. And that was like the perfect phase 2. Kinda crazy. I have had this RNG before, but when I got it, I missed like 2 hits, and so this is gonna like mega gold. It's funny, my PB also had a gold Gyobu, which that Gyobu wasn't the best Gyobu I'd ever had. Like the best Gyobu I'd ever had before this was while I was running Shura, and this is like half a second faster. Which is, it's basically the same thing. Like, you can lose time to fucking talking to Tengu. Lose half a second there easy. Alright, big gold. Pretty good start for this run, like, I mean, I lost 12 seconds on Ogre, but it's a longer type of run, so it's more like trying to not fuck up. I knew that like I could continue pretty much anything, even if it was red at the beginning, because I have 20 seconds to save on True Monk and 20 seconds to save on Gachiin, and I also had a bit to save on this guy and also on Dragon. Now I don't really end up saving much on this guy. I had like a really bad incident on my PB where he like ran all around, and he kind of did the same here, but that was because I got ganked. If I ran, if I ran this bank, I could get a better early game. But and I did think about that, but nah, I'm gonna peace out. I'm gonna take my 5th place on the leaderboard, and I'm gonna go and try and play some other categories. Right, front dojo. And then we gotta hit up some walk my Genny shit. I think I messed this up as well. I could be wrong. If you think about it and look at my best possible time right now, you'd be like, or you'd be kind of asking like, where, like, how, oh, I guess it's more me who thinks like that. Like right now the best possible time is 39:34, and I'm thinking like, where do I lose all the time to not, for this to not have been a sub 40, right? Because I feel like there weren't too many mistakes from this point out, but it's really just, you lose a little bit everywhere. Even though this was actually pretty good, even, here where I don't get double lightning. Oh, well, I do get a late double lightning, which is good, but it's not the best. Like, it's not bad at all, but it saves a lot of time to get it earlier. This was actually really good. Even though, like, if I'd gotten the immediate double lining, this would have golded. So at this point, the run is, like, looking pretty nice time-wise. Like, obviously, you could do better. Like, you know, you could have saved 12 more seconds on Ogre. But it is what it is. We take what we get. Going fast here on the dialogue, or at least trying to. And not succeeding. This is probably my least favorite thing with Glitchless, is the dialogue. Like, glitch categories really don't have a lot of it, and I guess it makes sense why I'm not the best at it, because like, I pretty much, like, you know, I pretty much started out running glitched categories, and then I kind of slowly went over to glitchless because other people were playing it, and it was like, oh yeah, I want to play the thing that these other guys are playing. And so I kind of just hopped on the train, and I'm still kind of in the spot where I'm like trying to catch up in a way, even though that I feel like I'm pretty good, and that I have been contributing to some, like, pushing some things forward. It's still like, there are still a lot of, like, spots in my gameplay where it's just like, you ask whether or not I even know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, menuing, for example. Anyway, you know, this is all just for fun anyway, so you can easily get a little bit too caught up in perfectionism, and I am not really one to chase for perfectionism. Although I want to be as good as possible at the game, and also want to get some nice runs, I am not in the business of trying to be perfect, with, like, trying to do perfect runs of the game. Some people really, like, strive for that, and they really enjoy trying to do that, and I've also been there in the past, for sure. And I definitely do kind of tap into that mindset sometimes, but overall that is, like, kind of a thing that I do, like, in a shorter, like, period where I'm gonna, you know, try and lock in. Yeah, I don't wanna be bound by this, like, you know, grinding for a certain thing, because really what I like more is kind of doing a little bit of one thing, then moving on to another thing. That's what I like the most. I bet that a lot of people can relate to that. Like, it's really quite a common question, you know, for speedrunners. How do you play the same game every day? And one answer is that, you know, you can play it in different ways. Same way with, you know, Minecraft or what have you. People say that with, like, Souls games as well. There are different weapons and shit. It's like, some people really like that, and some people also are like, yeah, nah, that doesn't do anything for me. It's kind of like really personal preference whether you find something replayable or not. I find Sekiro very replayable because of the incentive to get good, you know? On your first playthrough, like, the whole thing is about getting better and learning the system. And then, you know, you can kind of just, you know, continue it on. Like, what I did was, like, I kind of tried and Try to no-hit some bosses in the reflection. And then learn some tricks and shit. Some skips, rats, stuff like that. And then I got into speedrunning. But I always wanted to speedrun this game, like even before I played it casually, so. Oh, dude, I don't know how this worked, but it did, so. I need to work on my setup for that. Oh well, I don't, because I'm not gonna be fighting him for a while. Because we do glitch shit now. Yeah. Hopefully I can man up and finish some more of like the other video projects that I have going, like some tutorials and maybe a speed documentary. Not quite sure if I'm gonna commit to that yet, because it's a lot of work to make one of those, and at the size that my channel is right now, it might just be a waste of time. Sometimes if you put a lot of work into something, it doesn't always get the outcome that you want. But at this sort of size, like, I'm pretty confident that making tutorials will be like the easiest like way to grow the YouTube channel at the moment. I mean, you can look at the fucking video I have with the glitch for infinite prayer beats. That thing has 100,000 views, and when I upload a speedrun video, it gets like between 100 and 500, depending on like, yeah. Some of them get more, but those were, you know, world records and world, you know, that was the world's first sub 31 on no hit, which someone did end up getting the sub 30 on that. I really wanted to get that, but things just got in the way, and so I couldn't compete for it. Yoruka was the one who got that. He was also just too good, like. Oh, nice. Yeah, there is a lot of like unclean stuff with this run, like especially menuing and stuff. So it does make you want to come back, you know, and do better. But when I think about all of the different, like, if look at all my, you know, personal best in all the different categories, there is not one of them that I can point at and say, I can do better than that. All of them can be improved. And this one might be one of the ones that have the least room for improvement, actually. Because even though that there is a lot of time loss, it's a pretty good run. And it's also, you know, my latest one. So it's kind of got all of, you know, my experience. But yeah, I'm probably gonna, you know, run this category, or sure glitchless, or all this stuff like that kind of occasionally. Because again, I want to do more like different stuff rather than just play one category all the time. Oh wait, I forgot I did this mistake. Damn. Yeah, this segment was kind of bad because I think I also die. This would be another reason for running it back. Alright, let's see. Do I get shot? Spoiler, I probably do. Or do I? Wait, hang on. Wait, maybe I don't? Oh! Wait, I don't. Okay, never mind. I thought I died on Gunford. Huh. Never mind. I don't even remember. To be fair, this run was like... It wasn't a long time ago, but it's like... At this point, it's like 5 days ago, maybe. I've just been lazy with doing the commentary. And by the way, there is a commentary free version in the description. I wasn't talking. Like, I had the mic muted for most of the run. Because, like, you know, just doing offline runs, kind of chilling out. Imagine if I was sitting there, you know, in front of, like, just myself and just, you know, speaking to myself. That's kind of what we do as, you know, as live streamers already, but imagine doing it when there is actually no one there. Like, not just, like, one guy or whatever, whoever. Because even if you know, are streaming to 0 viewers, there is a chance that, you know, someone might peek in for, like, a little bit. Or that someone might watch the VOD. Or something like that. And in that case, you know, there would be someone to watch it and hear what you say. But for this, you know, there would never be anyone. Or at least, you know, I guess if I PB like this, then I would be heard, but yeah. I couldn't imagine playing offline and commentating over it. Even when I'm doing, when I'm live streaming, I'm not actually like doing real commentary that explains the run or shit like that. Because you can't play the game well while doing that for 4 hours or more when you're doing like an attempt session. Like, imagine that, you know, like, it's pretty normal to be stuck in the early part of the run, so while you're in the early part of the run, you'll just be explaining the same thing again and again, and it'll take away from your focus also. Imagine that. That would be terrible. But I personally really like when people explain the speedrun, because some of the runs that I watch, I don't really know that much about, and it is fun to figure out more about it. I think many people have it like that with Sekiro. So I hope to provide at least a little bit of that, even though that I realized that so far I haven't really said much that pertains to the actual run. Oh yeah, watch me backstab or deathblow Miss Noble. Insane gameplay. Yeah, pretty straightforward, just running through this area. This area, I think some people think this area is dangerous, but it's actually not very dangerous. Gotta equip the snap seeds. It's very undangerous. Although some people do die to this bell guy up ahead, but... Man, that... I can't remember the last time that happened to me. Right, we got past him without dying, that's good. This entire area is pretty much just, you know, you're just running through in a straight line and thinking about having to do 4 Ash Monk. Now, some people are super calm and collected when it comes to 4 Ash Monk. I am not. I'm like... I'm like, you know, the first time on a unicycle kind of vibe. If that makes sense. I'm like flopping all over the place. Do a little bit of menuing. We gotta buy emblems here, and we gotta ideally buy them before that pop-up comes. The pop-up with the monk's drops actually puts you... It takes you out of the idle, so you want to be kind of quick with the buying there. It's something that I actually took the time to practice, which, if you're a speedrunner, you should be practicing stuff like that. Stuff that's not as obvious that you need to work on. Such as menuing. That's a big one, really. I don't think that I've ever really taken menu practice seriously in this game. There have definitely been points where, you know, I've tested stuff. But I've definitely not tested enough, because really, you can never be in that situation, which I find myself in a lot, where you're like, can I do this? Like, you're thinking to yourself during a run whether something works or not. The answer is that you should probably write it down so you can remember to test it later. Because you need to have the answers for these kinds of questions, because you can't be like in doubt over what works and what doesn't. You can't be winging it. You gotta have everything planned. Alright. A little bit of monkey business. Not the best ape, not the worst ape. We use Akko here for the first phase, because we need the Yash for later. Normally in like Sure Glitchless, you would use Yash here. And pretty much, you know... you don't do it in all bosses, but... in the short categories, you would like to use Yash here. But... we use the Yash on tankier bosses, so it makes sense. And good phase 2. And for phase 2 we do use a Yash, because you can't really script the fight without... like, even if you got the perfect RNG, it would be kind of awkward, because you'd need to... like, you'd be running out of emblems, and then you'd have to, like... you know, with Yash, you can end him on, like, a very good, like... in a very good way, you know, you do a mortal draw, and then you can just... take the death blow, whereas... if he had, like, slightly more health, you would have to mortal draw, and then you'd have to wait for the mortal draw animation to finish, and then hit him a couple times, and then take the death blow, which is a lot slower than it seems. Like... it's often a thing that, you know, we try our best to when we come up with strategies, is to make sure that we aren't just depleting the boss health in the quickest way possible, but we're also factoring in, like, the death blow. Really? Like, I don't even look at how fast a boss dies necessarily. I watch out for, you know, the shinobi execution or shit like that. That's what I use as my timing reference if I'm gonna test out a strategy for a boss. Because you can't just be like, oh yeah, this kills him like 1 second faster. But then you realize that death blow animations differ in length and stuff like that. And also sometimes, you know, you get further away from the exit of the boss arena. Alright, we got him in the corner. There is this kind of new strategy where you mortal draw him while he's stuck here. I was actually going for it for a bit, but I realized that I don't think it's worth it for me. I think I calculated that it could save around 6 seconds maybe, which is 6 seconds is a good amount of time, but it's up to 6 seconds. So, you know, you could save 6 seconds, you could save 2 seconds, you could maybe lose time. The big thing with the strategy is that you kind of have to jump and pray that he doesn't punish you. Because you can't be like... You can't just like jump MD and, you know, do it as if you were just doing the normal corner cheese. You have to... actually like avoid his moves, which in some cases means jump deflecting, and in other cases it means that you just have to jump and pray that he doesn't do like anything that catches you midair. Alright, more dialogue. To look at it from maybe a more realistic perspective, the best I've had with corner cheesing him was a 202. This was a 206 that I just got in my PB, as you can see by the middle column of the numbers. Yeah, so my best with just corner cheesing him is 202, and my best with the mortal draws is 201. So for me, it saved 1 second. Now, obviously, I didn't play it perfectly, and the measurement that I'm going off of with the 6 seconds is that someone else has gotten a 156 with the strat. So, yeah, 6 seconds faster than my 202. And a whole 10 seconds faster than in this run. Now, of course, the reason I lost time here is a bit out of my control. It was because he didn't get in the corner very fast, so not much I can do about that. And that would happen on any strategy you use, pretty much. Oh well, you can get a ceramic shot and throw at him, and it will bait him into the corner. It does save time in scenarios where he would have, you know, done the thing that he did on my run. Of like stalling, but if he doesn't stall, then it's pointless to pick up the item, the ceramic shot. So I'm a little bit on the fence on whether it's a thing that I want to do, the ceramic shot, because it is nice, but at the same time it's also, you know, kind of time loss. Having to pick up an extra item and then also having to open your inventory and use it from there. It is kind of some time lost. Alright, and we jump to the final one. This wasn't like the craziest fight, but I was just trying my best not to throw at this point because I know that I'm gonna be saving time here and on Gachiin if I just don't mess up. I died here in my PB. So actually big time save here. Boom. Alright, lake skip. Man, I have to say, looking back at this run, I'm really happy about it. I'm like really glad that I stuck with it for a bit. Because I was a bit annoyed that, you know, back when I ran this category, I was stuck on 11th. When I ran this like a year ago. And now I just like completely blasted past everyone. Not everyone, but... You know, I kind of feel like I pulled this run out of my ass, even though I do think I deserve it. Because I wasn't expecting to get that big of a PB. I thought the big PBs were done for me on this category. Because, like, if I got another big PB like that, you know, we'd be looking in world record territory. But that's, you know, shit like that doesn't happen. You don't, like, have a good time and then get a giga PB. Shit doesn't, that doesn't exist. The world record is quite good, by the way. Like, it has a really annoying mistake at the end that loses some seconds. I don't remember how much I timed it to be. I think it was like 8 seconds, maybe? It's really kind of unbelievable in a way that it happened. Because the rest of the run is so good. Alright. Just trying to kill as many of these guys as I can before the trees pop up. And then we go for the Beyblade moves. Yeah, I kind of fucked this up. Yeah, and then I fucked it up even more. You can... I think I could have done like a 2 cycle here, but... Yeah, there are different opinions about how to go about that, but... I definitely kind of messed up there. Alright, so... Dragon is... like the big thing with this category. You really want to mortal draw him. And here I hit 2 mortal draws on him at the start. Man, this strategy is like really complicated, so it's hard to explain, but basically there's like 2 openings, and that means that there's effectively 2 different strats. One is you do lightning once at the start, then you do mortal draws, and then you do a final lightning to finish him. The other strat, as I did here, is he opens with the verticals, and then you jump through them, and then on the final one you squeeze in a mortal draw, and then immediately after that you squeeze in another mortal draw, and then you buff. Then you do more mortal draw punishes, and then at the end you do 2 lightnings. One issue with this strategy is that there is a 20% chance that you get fucked, because the lightning that he spawns for you to throw at him can spawn on top of another lightning. So there is a 20% chance that, you know, the lightning spawns as on the same tree that there already is one, and then you get really fucked. It's really bad because the delay for them to spawn is like quite large. I think it's like 14 seconds. I could be wrong on that, but yeah. This is the better RNG, I guess. Like, it is better to get verticals, I think, as the opener. But the other opener, where you get a sweep attack and then you throw a lightning and then mortal draw, and then lightning again, it's probably a little bit more comfortable. Right, I got kind of a funny thing here where all the pop-ups happen at once and then you can kind of skip them in one click. Kind of like a rare thing, or it's not that rare. You gotta spam spam very hard for it. Rather than that, it's yeah. I also elected to die on purpose at the end of Dragon. That is because the first time you die in this game, you know, you have the little revive animation, because until you die you actually don't really have the resurrection system unlocked. Then the first time you die you get the cutscene of Wolf saying or of Kuro saying, "Wolf, take my blood and live again," and then you unlock the resurrections. And yeah, I can have that go off while the dragon is like doing its thing, and then it won't lose me time. But imagine that if I didn't do that, I got on the final boss and then I died. You know, I'd lose all of that time. Because I could have been attacking Ishin. and he will be recovering posture. So it's really like bad if you die without a revive. It's still bad if you die with a revive, but it's obviously better like being able to revive quickly instead of like laying down on the floor in front of him for like 10 seconds. I think I'm gonna stop talking and I'm just gonna let the thing play out. Thank you guys stopping by and listening to my rambling. I appreciate it. I'll see you later. Oh, fuck this game, man. Holy shit, dude. Oh my... Oh. Ah, man, I was sweating so much in this run. Oh my god. Holy hell, man. Oy, oy, oy. Oh my god. Fuck yes. Oh. 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 Fuck yes, it's so fucking good. Oh my god. Oh. Baby. Oh my. Yeah. Fuck yes. Oh man, dude, I spent so much time running today and yesterday and like the past like week, and this shit was so frustrating. I threw so many good runs and oh man, that dragon was so good, and then Ishin was good as well. Like this was, yeah, this was actually a good Ishin. Oh man. Oh. Oh, and the dude, the most insane Yobu of all time. Holy fuck. Oh, holy. Oh man, I'm so happy about that. Damn.